I found a team composition that gets straight A's on PvPoke, which is pretty great, and to do so all you need to use is an ABB team style. We're gonna check out a Sileo up in front followed up by two grass type Pokemon, and if you cannot get that straight A's on your own, that's mainly because you are not using the regular form of Sileo. In today's content I'm gonna use a Shadow Sileo, but of course the regular form is gonna perform much better. At the same time we are gonna use the Water Pulse version of Sileo because I want to test out how good that move can be on the entire meta after this season's move update on that specific move, the Water Pulse I mean. And now without any further ado, cue the intro. Let's begin today's content with Sileo facing Ferrothorn. Obviously this is not the best scenario for us, anything we throw will be resisted and we still manage to catch here on that Ferrothorn. Just remember they always need 4 of those bullet seeds to get to the Power Whip, they need 5 for the Thunder and perhaps 1 more for that Flash Cannon. So by keeping that in track you can always try to catch at least once in the entire game on your Tropius, and in doing so we can still manage to get the shield out of that Pelipper, which is pretty great if you ask me. Not gonna spend the shield here, but my opponent still wants to go for that bait, which is absolutely awesome for us since now we can get our hands on that final Leaf Blade and of course grab that second shield out of play. So the second Weather Ball will eventually finish us off, but we do not care much. The move is imminent, we're expecting another Weather Ball to be fair, and right after we can easily farm down. Able to catch immediately right after since we knew that they were loaded on energy from their Ferrothorn, that Power Whip on our own, and of course at the very end they have a Galarian Weezing. What you aim to bait out of your opponent's backline with that aggressive switch to Ferrothorn is obviously gonna be something like a Weezing, something like a Tentacle, something like this, so that your Ferrothorn is gonna be on a very good spot, so Tropius can absolutely handle that. Into the next battle now with that Jellicent up in front. This is another very bad lead, perhaps the worst one that you can get for this team, because even the backline will struggle up against those Shadow Balls unless they have a nice beam, which is gonna be much more crucial like they do over here for my Tropius. Of course we were already hurt by one Shadow Ball, which is absolutely great for us right now because the Ice Beam, well, it could kinda one-shot us down and we would not like that at all. Anyways, down we go now to the Weezing, which is pretty great for us because now Sileo can easily go in and still reach here to the Pod Slam to provoke that shield of their own, which is the final one as well. I'm just gonna block in return because I have a feeling that they have an overhit ready to go, but to my surprise they use a play rough. So all we have to do now is to expect that Jellicent to return to the battle and go for the switch out to my Ferrothorn, but for some weird reason I throw that Body Slam. I do not know what I was thinking. Anyways, Shadow Ball is coming up, almost finishing off my Sileo. We survived with 1 HP and 1 Body Slam at the same time, which can be kinda clutch for the end game. Shadow Ball now on my Ferrothorn, and all we need to do at this point is to go ahead and push as much as possible with that Power Whip and the extra farm. Now we got the Flash Cannon for the Venusaur at the very end, so we got that amazing last second Body Slam on our Sileo, which will come clutch here into that amazing finale, surviving with 1 HP up against the grass type and of course delivering the finishing blow. Shadow Sileo returning into the battle for the next one as a leader as well. So let's see how this is gonna go because we got another bad lead, this time up against the Araquanid. I decided to switch out here to my Tropius trying to catch that Bug Buzz I guess, but they managed to get their hands on that Bubble Beam. You know what, this is not that great overall because now we're severely debuffed, but another Pelipper emerges out of nowhere, which means that we can absolutely have the upper hand no matter what. We're just gonna keep going at it with those Leaf Blades and eventually we can guarantee the knockout. So in doing so, in the process they want to sacrifice some crucial energy for them, which means now that my Sileo can easily go in and finish off their work. So down goes here the Pelipper, or at least I thought so because they spent the shield for no reason, and another Body Slam is along the way. Down they go eventually. Now they return to the battle with that Araquanid, and I'm just gonna block because this has to be definitely a Bug Buzz. In doing so now, we can still reach to those back-to-back Body Slams, I guess, but since I can go for the first Body Slam, I have a feeling that the Power Whip right after will just finish them off. To my surprise, they still survive with one single HP, and right after we can definitely survive whatever they throw, even if that move is going to be a Bug Buzz. Another Venusaur, this time on the closing part, and of course whatever they throw, we're just gonna take it, surviving with that final shield for our Sileo, but they end up going for the Fresh Plant, which gives us some time to charge up a little bit more and get to that Flash Cannon for a lot of damage. So here comes now my Sileo, and once again we are already there on the Body Slam, just 5 of those Powder Snows to get to the first Body Slam, and then 4 for the second, which is pretty great if you ask me. Into the next battle now with that Empoleon up in front. Obviously this is another terrible lead scenario for us, nothing to throw here, anything is gonna be a lot of resisted damage for us, so we're just gonna switch out of there to our Tropius once again. Of course this is not a great deal for us because we might actually manage to get that in between victory, but of course we need to sacrifice a shield in the process, and as it seems my opponent definitely wants that, so perhaps their team is structured around those shields, and perhaps we might see something like a Mawile at the very end. Only time will tell. So Seed Bomb is coming up, and not a Mawile but instead a Lantern will be waiting for us. Can we possibly lose this one? Let's see together because I do not remember the outcome at all. So Thunderbolt is coming up, we're just gonna take it because whatever they throw is gonna be resisted, and of course knowing now that they have that Shadow Ball on that Trevenant, I decide to let my Pokemon over here become a punching bag, and because I spent all of my shields at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead, throw the Power Whip, the double at least, let's see if we can get that final shield out of play, but my opponent knows much better, and of course we're just gonna fall short here to my opponent because they have survived with 1 HP, and Ferrothorn cannot withstand the damage from that final Shadow Claw, and we're just gonna fall short to the trainer. Great work my opponent, you absolutely outplayed me over there. Into the next one now with that Ninetales up in front. Of course this Pokemon can have access to a move like Dazzle Gleam, which can be devastating for me, so I'm just gonna block it no matter what, at least the first one, and we end up blocking the correct move. Right after we can push now for the knockout, and since they want to block, I'm just gonna go with a triple Body Slam on their shields, and of course one pass through as the first move that I threw. Anyways, another Dazzle Gleam is coming up, I can easily farm up some extra here, and they want to switch out to that Quagsire, which is pretty great for me since now I can easily return into the battle with my Ferrothorn. The reason I did not bring in there my Tropius is because they could potentially get a lot of damage on my flyer with a simple Stone Edge, so I'm just gonna return into the battle here with that Power Whip and of course my Ferrothorn and do more damage to the Cradily. I didn't know that, but Ferrothorn can win the CMP over the Cradily, which is pretty nice I guess, and at this point we're just gonna fall down to the Grass Knot. So with that Grass Knot I'm pretty sure that we can charge up a lot here because they just reached to the move, they do not have back to back or anything, so we can absolutely take this victory without even revealing our Tropius as it seems. Trevenant is a lead that I do not like at all when I'm not running that Aurora Beam, but my opponent doesn't know that, and we're just gonna force the switch out to the Ferrothorn. I will try to catch the move here on the Tropius, perhaps I should have stayed a little bit more, but instead they always have that Thunder, so this is always gonna look something like a very good matchup for us because a double Thunder can easily be taken while they still need one more to finish me off. The Power Whip will not do the work over here. So now my Aerial is coming up, able to deal a lot of damage at this point on that Ferrothorn. At the very end they have a Cloyster, which is an impressive Pokemon to own right now on that Spring Cup, and I know its moveset, so I'm waiting for them to reach to that Icy Wind, so nothing to fear over here. And with that in mind, I'm just gonna overcharge at this point to my Power Whip, and this Pokemon is pretty similar to the Dugong, so that's why I knew what to throw and when. Anyways, my Body Slam Slam is gonna come off on that Ferrothorn, and of course I need to respect the damage from a potential Power Whip, and I'm just gonna pop up my first shield into this individual match. So I'm just gonna go for the second shield as well in a weird effort to completely farm down, but because they are gonna snipe me down with that seed bomb, we're gonna fall down with a lot of energy remaining. Doesn't matter, Ferrothorn to the rescue with a flash cannon for big damage on their end, and now this is a race to the charge attack from both Ferrothorns, and because I have a handle, that attack stat is on God mode, and of course we can win the CMP to get this victory. Into the final one now with the Lurantis up in front. You might be thinking, okay, those ice moves, the powder snows are gonna do super effective damage, but one leaf blade will be enough to finish me off in the one shot, and they can always outspeed as it seems. So Body Slam is coming up. I'm just gonna go ahead and overcharge here a little bit extra, because I have a feeling that this is gonna go down to the 2 shield scenario on both ends. So here comes out the Body Slam, they will go ahead and shield, and I will try to catch now on my Tropius. Absolutely a wonderful catch for us, and not only that, but also they're pretty low with no energy at all, which we can always take advantage of. Now at the back they have the Weezing. We drew out that overhitter, which means that we can absolutely have the upper hand on whatever remains at the back with our Ferrothorn. Now Silo returns to the battle. I'm just gonna go with one extra powder snow, and now let's see how they want to respond. And of course they got the lantern, which is super great news for us. All we need to do here is to charge up to 2 of those power whips, one for the lantern, one for that Lurantis, and we can eventually take that victory, because Ferrothorn is gonna wall down lantern completely. This Anglerfish Pokemon stands no chance at all, and Lurantis the Mantis as well. So that is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for sticking around till the end. It really means a lot to my channel. If you want to support even more, become a member, or just simply leave a like and subscribe to my content if you are new to my stuff here on YouTube. So with that said, once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Till the next time, take care, trainers.